You got to go to war with yourself before there's peace.
You must go to war with yourself before you find peace. So I'm trying to give you tools on how to do that. And I'm not considering smile and be happy about it. It's a hard journey. It's a real journey. It's a journey that's going to take you way outside of being comfortable. Being nobody, there's a lot of power in being nobody. There's a lot of power from going to scratch again. So once your life gets easy and everything is great, it's time to go online and Google some obstacles to put right the fuck in front of you. When I was in Navy SEAL training, one of my jobs was to train guys to get through Navy SEAL training. And I started realizing that I was training these guys, they were getting bigger, stronger, faster, all this other stuff. But they would still quit. All I was doing was building bigger, stronger, faster quitters. And I started down, I was like, what the hell am I doing wrong, man? I was changing all the external crap. I wasn't going into the internal and changing what really matters. The first step you have to do is face yourself and be accountable for what you're not. So then you can be what you want to be. I'm not tripling down on strengths. I'm tripling down on weaknesses. I attack myself. I'm always questioning myself. I'm always holding myself accountable.
Talk to me about the accountability mirror.
So the accountability mirror is something that I kind of came up with in high school. Like I said, I started shaving my head when I was 16. And I got caught up in trying to impress so many people because no one liked me. So I developed so many different identities. God, dog, so many different things I did to try to fit in with so many different groups. When you look in the mirror, that's the one person you can't lie to. So every morning I would shave my head thinking, God, I would reflect back on some of the lies I may have told somebody or some of the ways I acted that I didn't feel comfortable doing. And I did it to impress other normal people. The key word there is normal, everyday people. I was trying to make other people like me. How pathetic is that? This mirror would always tell me, my reflection would say, God, you are a pathetic man. How does that feel every day to be this way? So I would just start having myself accountable. How did I attack today? How did I attack yesterday? And if I didn't do something I was proud of, I'd write down a sticky note and I would fix it. So then my senior year in high school, it was a totally different David Goggins.
So in your life, is there a coach or a mentor that you interface with that you had a lot of respect for?
You know, I had several people, but don't take this wrong. I believe that we are our own hero. Let's say right now you guys idolize me, and then tomorrow I go outside and I have some kind of issue. I can let you down. I'm human. All your mentors, everybody you like, we're human. You got to put yourself on that pedestal, hold yourself to a higher standard, hold yourself accountable, and then look up to yourself. I'm not saying kiss your own ass, but I'm saying hold yourself to a standard and look within inside yourself and try to be the best you can be. We start trying to mimic somebody else. Don't be them, be you.
People look at you and they want to talk about Badwater and all these races that you've done, 100 milers in 8 weeks and all this insanity.
Right.
But really, this is all a product of hardening your mind, callousing your mind, to use your phrase. And it's getting harder and harder to do that because there are so many distractions, and it's so easy to distract yourself.
Yes, it is.
You don't ever have to be bored again with these things in our pockets.
No, but the one thing I'm most scared of in the world is losing touch with the best thing in the world is your mind. Your mindset, how you can picture yourself, how you can focus, how you can drive, how you can put yourself in so many situations to get out of it. Because those headphones we listen to, those phones that we Google to find information, there's so many situations in my life where that shit's not going to help me.
For somebody that's listening to this or they're reading your book and they do feel apart from, they feel alone, perhaps they have that victim mentality, right? They're just, the world's against me. I can't catch a break. Every time I try to do this happens. It's some narrative that they're spinning about their life.
Right.
Like, what's the first step out of that?
Well, like I've said a million times before, the most important conversation is the one you have with yourself. You wake up with it, you walk around with it, you go to bed with it. Eventually, you act on it. Sometimes you act on it good, sometimes bad. You got to change the internal dialogue. That person in your head that's talking that shit to you until you change the internal dialogue in your head, until you callous over the victim's mentality that the world is out to get you, you got to change that shit, man.
Yeah, but you don't understand my life, David.
Yeah, I do. So that's the thing about it. And that's why I can talk about it. But yeah, I get that mentality. I once had that mentality that no one understands what the fuck I'm going through. And if you keep that mentality, you're going to stay in the same exact spot that you're in, that no one understands me. Are you not in the world? Are you not in society? You're never alone. Everybody's going through shit. A lot of people understand you, but you got to stop hiding. A lot of people are going through shit. They just hide better than you did.
I think that so many people are so disconnected from themselves. They're operating on autopilot. They're reacting to their environment that even when given the opportunity to set a goal for themselves, they generally don't set the right goal.
Right.
Because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Because they don't even know who they are fundamentally.
That's the big thing, man. And that's why it was important for me to finally realize, stop being all these fake people I used to be. Stop being afraid. There was no growth until I cut myself down to the person I really was, the real human being. And once I found out who I really was, that's when I started growing. I was trying to build on top of a lied, fucked up foundation. You can't build a house on a fucked up foundation.
And what is the role that suffering plays in that, or the willingness to suffer?
It starts to peel all those artificial layers away. If you're willing to suffer and go back in the grind, that internal dialogue you have with yourself when you're in misery and you're uncomfortable, it's a real, scary, unfiltered, no lying dialogue between you and yourself. And people know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about when you're in a bad spot in life and your mind is saying all kind of shit. That's who you really are. That's the real you. No Rocky Balboa moments going on up there. Yeah. You're like, hey, you know, it's round 14. Let's come on. We got this. No, it's like, fuck this. I'm out of here, man. This is crazy. That's where the growth happens. When you're able to stay in that moment and talk yourself back into the suck of wherever you're going through, and you start stripping those layers away. But as you're stripping those layers away, you're building calluses over top of shit in your mind. That's
why ultras are such a great vehicle for self-exploration. And
100%.
That's why you see all of these cultures over the millennia who use running as a means of self-exploration and a path to enlightenment, because you can't bullshit yourself. When you're getting it, strips you down to who you are, and you are confronted with the truth of yourself and your reality, and you're forced to wrestle with that in a way where there's no escape hatch.
No. Like that first 100-mile race I've talked about several times, where I lost everything.
Still the hardest physical thing you've ever done, right?
Yes, physically and mentally, because like you just said, I was unprepared for that race. And when you do that, it is stupid. But what it does, if you're not going to quit it, like you just talked about, it breaks you down to nothing. You are suffering so badly mentally and physically that all of these demons are coming up. And you're trying to find answers, and you're trying to find answers. Those are the times we don't want to fucking talk about. We want to skip forward to peace. Let's just fucking fuck all this. Let's skip all this pain and suffering and misery of real life. Let's cover it over, nice big blanket, and let's find peace. No, sorry, it's not possible. Gotta go into that fucking hellhole of life that you have and fix it.
You got to go to war with yourself before there's peace.
That's what I say in the book.
That's what you say in the book.
You must go to war with yourself before you find peace. So I'm trying to give you tools on how to do that. And I'm not considering smile and be happy about it. It's a hard journey. It's a real journey. It's a journey that's going to take you way outside of being comfortable.
What do you think is the biggest stumbling block that most people face with this kind of journey?
Honestly, is they have the woe is me mentality. It's too hard. Life isn't fair. These things in life are not easy for me. You look to your left and you look to your right and you start to judge yourself off other people. Like if you're a female, well, she's skinny and she doesn't work out as hard as I do. And everything starts to corrupt your mind. You start to look around too much at other people and what they're doing, and that starts to corrupt your own dialogue. We are judging ourselves against too many fucking people. You have to judge yourself against yourself. And that's the one thing I started learning, man. This isn't a race against me and Rich Roll. This is a race against David Goggins and David Goggins alone. And once you can silence all that bullshit, all the outside interference and things that are attracting your mind to everything, you can then start to grow in realizing I'm stressed out for no reason. This is my own little race. This is my own timeline, and this is how I'm going to run it.
The real gift that's built into this whole thing is how you reframe vulnerability. Like, we tend to think of vulnerability as a weakness, or, you know, somebody who's soft. Right. And you embody it in a completely different structure to show people that it is strength. Like, if you want to be hard and you want to be strong, vulnerability and open-mindedness are the keys to that kingdom.
You said it perfectly there. The one thing that made me who I am today is being vulnerable. It's breaking myself down to the absolute rock bottom and being able to tell people who I am. And that's how I fixed it. Look somebody in the eye and say, you know what, man? I have a whole bunch of character problems. I've lied about this. I've cheated here. I'm insecure here. This isn't the real me. I lied to you about that. I wanted your acceptance in life. All those things happen. But the thing about it is that we get judged so quickly by who we are. We don't know. We don't go to where it happened. You know, life created this person, me. Life created me to be this fucked up person that I was back in the day. And I had to realize that's okay, man. It's not my fault. Now I gotta go back and fix this shit though. So a lot of this isn't your fault, why you do some things you do, why you feel the way you feel. But no one's coming back to save your ass. You have to go back to where the shit started, wherever that place is for everybody, and have the courage to go back there and start fixing what broke you.
You gotta be honest with yourself
100%.
About where you're at.
100%.
People don't like that.
Oh. It's ugly. And what's funny about it is that as you're trying to fix yourself and dig yourself out of this deep hole that life, society, and you helped, those people who you saw down there in that hole who were there with you, who were your friends and people who you counted on, because you meet the people in the same situation that you're in life. Those people become your friends. And the second you try to get out of that situation and become better, those people are in that grave, in that dungeon, just yanking at your heels, man, saying, get the fuck back. Oh, no, come on back here, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna make me feel like shit by you getting out of this hole.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
So I get that all the time now. People would constantly remind me of who I used to be back in the day. It's so noisy right now. This world is so noisy. We all walk around with these phones, computers. The world is so fast. We're not able to think. The most powerful weapon in the world, we walk around with it. It's our mind. It's our brain. You have to be able to go into a very dark place in your mind and figure who you are. Go back to what you want to do. What's your purpose? We can't figure our purpose out or why we're here or why we're even born or whatever because it's so loud in our mind. We don't have any quiet time with ourselves to sit back and say, what do I really want? There's so many different dialogues in our head that we can't think. So my biggest thing is you have to be alone in a very dark place in your mind to think about what is important to you. I'm afraid of the water, and that's kind of shackling my mind. It's by facing those things, that's how you open up different doors of your life. Because all these things that we're afraid of, they're doors that can possibly lead you to a whole other world. But we keep them shut for fear, for insecurities. And that's the thing about tripling down on your weaknesses, so then those weaknesses end up becoming your strengths.
Yeah, looking back, it's like every domino is lined up perfectly to create the person that I'm sitting across from right now. And also, you took advantage, you leveraged all of those opportunities to be that best version of yourself.
Mm-hmm. I did. It was a very scary road. A guy who was afraid of a lot of things, to then find power in fear, to find power in overcoming fear, and to get to where I'm at today where there's very few things that I'm really afraid of because I know how to control it. I know how to manage it. I know how to work it to my advantage now.
Well, let's talk a little bit about how journaling has been instrumental in this journey that you've been on.
Yeah, so basically, I've been journaling now for several years. And I should have brought my journal with me, man. I mean, I have several of them. I have these little green military notebooks. I write down my day. What I do is I go back and study that day. Like sometimes I might get sick. I might be overtrained. I might gain a couple pounds here. I might feel whatever. It's like my accountability journal of what I'm doing with my life physical, mental, eating journal, all this shit. And it helps me go back to, once again, study. I'm a lab rat. I study myself. And I'm like, when I'm feeling fucked up, I go, okay, what did I do last week? And usually I can find out where I messed up. Through journaling, man, you can really figure out so much about where you're messing up in life and what you need to fix about yourself.
Taking constant inventory. Being honest about that.
And that's the thing about it. You cannot put bullshit in there. It's got to be a real journal about, hey, today I messed up here. Today I should have been a better person here. And not just saying it, but actually trying to fix it tomorrow.
Do you extend that accountability to including, like, bringing in like a close circle of friends and mentors so they know what's going on, or are you just accountable to yourself? How do you feel about letting others in on your goals and having like external pressure to hold you accountable?
No, there's no external pressure. That's
you don't need it, but I think other people.
Oh yeah, it's important to have circles. You want to build this nucleus around you of people who are saying it's not okay to sleep in today. We gotta get after it. Hey, let me see your journal. You're supposed to be running 5 miles today. You only ran 3. Some people need those people. But you want to get to the point in your life that you hold yourself accountable and those people start to fade away because you now got it. You want to be that person because they're not always going to be there to hold your hand. Small town mentality is a real mentality. You've got to be able to get out and let your mind see open-mindedness. Because a small town, what it does to you is it closes your mind. Completely closes your mind. Not everybody. This isn't everybody. A lot of people. You have to be able to go out there and create open-mindedness. You need space. You need space to see the world. Like a lot of racism, a lot of ignorance in the world, it comes from people not being out and seeing other things, seeing other people, seeing all kind of shit. That's why we judge so harshly, because our minds are so closed to the reality of life. So once you take a step back and see the reality of the true ignorance that you're dealing with from a small group of people, that's when you get growth.
We talked about it backstage, authenticity, and I think that like authenticity is because judgment runs so rampant in the world, right? And it's usually about the person that's judging rather than the person that they are judging. What is your views on authenticity, and what is the power of being authentic?
It's the ultimate power to stand in front of a group of people, and you all can ask me any question you want to, and I'll answer it. That right there is what I talk about authenticity. It's being able to know that your life is jacked up, that we all come from a past that maybe bad or good, and to own it. And not to be ashamed of it, to not be afraid for people to judge you, not care what other people think, to be able to walk around in your own skin and be so comfortable in it that you can write your whole life, all the bad, not the good, all the bad on the billboard and walk around like this. This is me, man. This is me. That's authenticity to me. And when you get to that point, when you can walk around with those middle fingers up, not really like being mean to people, but saying, judge me, man. This is it. This is who I am, but I'm fixing it. I'm not just letting it, it's not defining who I am, but that's a part of my life, and it's just owning who you are and not being ashamed of it. Well, everything I do, I try to do my very best. And now that I'm out here trying to share this story with people, I want to be so real and so fucking authentic to the point where it was embarrassing to me.
And what is it that you have to learn?
I still have to learn me. I still feel there's times where, as a human being, I'm a human. You still fall back in these ruts of life where you think that you had a permanent fix because I've done all that. Nothing's a permanent fix, man. That's why I grind every day, because nothing is permanent.
I believe we're here to grow, progress, and evolve. And if you're not committed to that journey, then I think you're missing the beauty of life. And that doesn't mean it's easy, because it fucking ain't. No. It is the warrior's path, truly.
100%.
But if you don't acclimate to challenging yourself and facing obstacles and becoming better on a consistent daily basis, then what the fuck are you doing?
100%. And sometimes you have to put the obstacle in front of you. I have no obstacles anymore, man. Life is good. So once your life gets easy and everything is great, it's time to go online and Google some obstacles to put right the fuck in front of you.
You've spent a lot of time alone. What is something that you learned about yourself through your process or your journey?
I learned I was leaving a lot on the table. And that's what scares me the most. I'm good now, but what haunts me is that at 24 years old, I was 300 pounds. And if I didn't make a right turn, if I decided to just give in to the feelings I had, I would have died a 300 or 400 pound man working some minimum wage job in my casket, never knowing that I was this guy. I believe in God. And what scares me the most is I believe that God, in my own mind, I'm a big visualization person. So what keeps me going is like visualizing. It's not true, but it helps me. I believe that God had this big chart in heaven. And when you get there, if you earn your right to get there, you get there in heaven. Let's say I walked up at 300 pounds. And God says, hey man, great job, you made it to heaven. And he rips this page down, and now it says David Goggins' chart. He rips it down, throws that paper to the side. And he says, look at this. And I'm reading it. I go, what is this? He goes, how much do you weigh? 300 pounds. What did you do? I was a pest control guy for 40 years. He says, this is what you were supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? A 185-pound person. Be able to run 205 miles. Break the pull-up record. Motivate people. Energize people. Make them driven. Make them passionate. Make them find more. So am I in heaven or in hell? That's what motivates me. It scares me also, because I believe that we are all leaving a lot on the table. And now when I go to heaven, what I want God to look at me and say is, as you were living, I'm the all-knowing man. I had to get a damn marker out and write more as you were living. You see what I'm saying? I want to impress him. That's what I'm here for. I want to do the impossible. Do the impossible.